give you details annual general conference of the Democratic Labour Party. With me, we have the General Secretary, Comrade Steve Blackett. Yeah, first Vice President, Steve Blackett. Yes, Steve Blackett. He's our first Vice President. And we are both members of the Planning Committee. We also have in the audience our Treasurer, Jeff Shepard. My name is Irene Sandyford Garner. I am a member of the Planning Committee and a member of the General Council and the Executive Council of the party. Now, our celebrations begin this Friday night with a gala. Those of you who've lived long enough to remember know that that used to be the general format where we would start with a reception on a Friday and have the business of the party on a Saturday and the Sunday. This year, we've changed it up a bit. So we will start with the gala, which will see the induction of new members once again. So this is the second time for the year that we will be inducting new members, that Comrade Blackett will give you more information on that aspect of the evening's proceedings. We will also have, of course, a presentation by Comrade Blackett, who is the conference chairman, and evening speaker. And our evening speaker will be one of our former candidates, the young Rashid Belgrave. He's an attorney at law. He would have been a candidate in the last general election. And he is currently the chair of our working group on youth culture, sports, and juvenile justice, which is a specialty of his. We then end the evening, which begins at 7, and we end it at about 9 p.m. with cocktails and mingling. And that evening is open to all. The next day is our business day, and that's the Saturday, where we will be having presentations from two of the chairpersons of our working groups. We will have the usual presentations from the party organs, the Young Democrats, the Women's League, and from the General Secretary, excuse me, and the Treasurer, as well as, excuse me, from the overseas branches. And then in the evening, we have the highlight of the day, which will begin at 4 p.m. with a presentation from our guest speaker, who is the opposition leader of Dominica. Now, remember, we would have had the opposition leader of Grenada in May this year, who eventually became the Prime Minister of Grenada, a very young man. We have a very young man again of the United Workers' Party of Grenada, Senator Clement Marcelin, and he is going to give, I'm sure, a very insightful and provocative presentation. Senator Marcelin, as I told you, is a very young political leader and a very promising one in the Caribbean. So that should be highly anticipated, and is highly anticipated. And then by 4:30, because Senator Marcelin will be speaking at 4 p.m., and then at 4:30, we have the first presentation, annual conference presentation by Dr. Ron Yearwood, our president. I say first because this is the first time he will be addressing the party as party president at an annual conference. He would have given an acceptance speech when he was inducted as the leader of the party in May. But this now will be his first speech to the institution in his capacity as leader of the DLP. So that begins at 4:30. And that is the highlight of Saturday's proceedings. And then on Sunday, normally we would have another day of party activity on the Sunday. This time around, we are going to Bath, and our membership has been exhorted to bring their baskets and come. This is going to be a DLP picnic at Bath St. John. and that starts around 10 in the morning. And all the branches have been informed, and our branches and members and supporters will be at Bath. You will have presentations at Bath, and music, of course, but the whole idea is to continue to build camaraderie within the institution, to boost the morale, continue to boost the morale of the base. So we felt that we would do it outside this time and have everybody up St. John outside enjoying themselves and fellowshipping with them, amongst like minds. Um, with that said, I think I will now pass on details of the membership recruitment and some of the other operational things to Mr. Blackett, because as the first vice president, he has the operational and administrative information at his fingertips, which I don't, which is how many new members we're going to have and so on. So over to you, sir.
Right. Thanks so much, Irene, and good morning to the members of the press. Irene did mention that we're going to be inducting some new members on Friday evening. I want to inform you, though, that we've had over close to 300 members joining the party in the last 7 to 8 months. In the last 3 months alone, we've had 195 members joining, and we are going to be actually inducting a token number of those 20 members into the fold of the Democratic Labour Party on Friday evening. But we are seeing a steady increase of our new members, and what is refreshing is that among those new members, we are finding a large majority of young people coming to the party. Also on the agenda and the itinerary, as Irene pointed out, is the presentation of special awards. And those special awards are going to 10 deserving members of the Democratic Labour Party. Ever since we lost government in 2018, the party has not been receiving the subvention from central government, and therefore we've had to rely on our membership, on the philanthropy of our membership, and the volunteerism of our membership. And we thought that in this special awards, single out 10 of our deserving members who would have risen to the cause. And we are calling this the Above and Beyond Awards. And these are members who show up here almost every day and give of their best in terms of volunteerism to the party. So, along with the induction of some of the new members, a representative number of the new members, we're also going to be presenting special awards, the Above and Beyond Awards, to 10 of our members.
So with that presentation and all of the details outlined, is there any more depth you would wish us to add? Are there any questions you would wish to ask?
Actually came to the party within the last 2 to 3 months. I don't know if there's any one particular attraction you can pinpoint, but what I can say that they have been coming of their own volition because um, the party has not really launched any um, direct or singular program or anything to attract members to the party. And these people have been coming on their own volition, like I said. I don't know if, since, I believe, though, because it coincided with the election of our new president. Maybe that is one of the features of the attraction to the party. But certainly, we've been seeing uh, larger numbers um, coming on their own, and also inquiring of membership to the party. The only common feature that I can see in that period would be the election of our new president. I think the time has come really for the younger generation of politicians to take the lead in Caribbean politics, and you've been seeing it in the especially in the last two general elections that were held in the Caribbean. One in which they call it in Grenada, and of course just recently in St. Kitts and Nevis. Um, uh, the point directly to our own situation here with the leadership of our party is that Dr. Raniero is the first millennial to actually lead a political party in Barbados. So you're seeing a coming of age kind of young, bright, well educated politicians. It is kind of painting a new picture of what the future politician in Barbados will look like, and what the future politician in the Caribbean will look like if you take the lead from those two recent general elections in the Caribbean. So I believe that it is a turning point. It is a watershed period, I would believe, in the Caribbean and in Barbados, that you're going to see bright, young, enterprising politicians coming to the fore.
We have two spots vacant at present because remember we would have explained in May that the system now indicates that the executive members hold their spots, the top executive members hold their spots for 2 years. So with the resignation of the former president, we would have had to have had an election for a president, and then Comrade Blackett would have resigned his post in anticipation of entering another race on the executive. So we had some spots where persons would have moved up. So we need now a fourth vice president, and we also need a general secretary. So we have two spots vacant, and there will be elections for those positions on Saturday of the fourth vice president and the general secretary. So there will be elections for those two positions. Friday as well. No, this particular conference, no, there's no leadership race this time because remember, we installed a new president in May. So that new president now will have a tenure of 2 years. Mhm. Oh, all right. Well, I understand what you're saying. Everything always happens in its time. So everything now is coalescing. We've had the leadership races where you would have had the competition and the sort of activity you would have almost in a general election for leadership. We won't have that this year. So, yes, we will have a quieter election period this year. And yes, you're correct. We are coalescing. Things are coming together very quietly but deliberately. If you look, you will see the work in progress outside on the building itself. Everything now is working in consonance. So you see a physical restructuring, and you're also seeing an administrative and leadership restructuring of the institution. And that internal restructuring was necessary. Everybody knows that. But nothing happens before its time. This is the time now where we are all coming together and attempting to rebuild without any other distractions. So your point is well made and your perception is correct. Any more questions? All right. Well, thank you all very much. And I look forward to seeing you over the weekend, including at Bath.